and Matt Tibos. One mistake, the walls are not really too far away, and if you push too far to the limit, it will catch you out. But hopefully, he can turn his fortunes. But I'm keeping an eye on QVR Maverick. It's his first race after a few off. He's it'll be very interesting to see how he gets on. I know he's probably looking forward to getting back racing, and he will be commentating over us later in D4.
Yes, don't forget you can watch Division 2 and Division 4 at 8:10 this evening, and you can probably watch us both bottle. And there's also Division 1 going on at the moment with James Head and Killer Blue commentating on that. But if I were you, I would watch this one. But you can watch both at the same time. Support us both for League of Europe, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As Mick's left the session, that's not good. Let's hope you can join back before the start of the race. It's Maverick. He's headed towards turn number 1 as well. Takes that quite nicely, actually. It's quite hard to get right sometimes on this game, but Maverick does that very well. That sets him very well, nicely through Curva Grande, which most of this lap could be taken at full throttle. I think it's around 70 to 80% as well. So you're going to be using quite a lot of ERS as Maverick now goes through turn 4 and 5. Now heading towards the first Lesmar now. Braking just after the 50-metre board as well. Aim to the right apex as much as you can to gain enough speed. Same for the second Lesmar as well. I think he took more of that right apex actually, so that's carried a little bit more speed. We'll see what his set to 2 split is in just a moment. He's in the AlphaTauri this season rather than the Red Bull. 53.5. He's not... He invalidated through Ascari. So that is my curse continues of me commentating over hot lap. So he's going to stay in P16 for now.
Yeah, Patsa Jasper just improved as Cam K is coming around. Also on what looks to be an improvement here, and he's going to put himself up to 8th.
Yes, so not a bad lap time for him. The top, I would say, the top from 4th down to 13th is incredibly close, and even the top 4 is quite close as well. So I think we could be in for a very exciting race as Ryan Belshaw now heads towards the sky. Let's hope that he doesn't invalidate like we saw Maverick do. I think he takes it, I think, less curb there as well, and I think there was quite a few talking points about this track for the PC guys at least, but luckily we don't have that problem because we're on PlayStation. I think most of us currently run at 60 FPS anyway, so that's not a problem for us. So you can take more of the curb in turn number 4. Ryan Belshaw up to the line. What can he do? He slots himself into 10th position, just ahead of Cam K. And I think we just see someone else cross the line. I think it was a Letty that's improved to 11th. So we got MCR and a Letty, 10th and 11th. Which is great to see. I think everyone else is on outlaps at the moment. Harry Yep is only in 14th position. He's got a lot of work to do to get inside the top 10. I have to say, Harry Yep has had a very good season so far. He got promoted from Division 5 from last season. Obviously, they're now 4 divisions this season. He's been quite consistent in scoring points in every single race. But there's been some occasions where he's been near the bottom, but safety cars have pretty much saved him, and he got involved in less carnage. But his best result was in Bahrain, and we didn't even caught the end of it because Pastor Jasper's Wi-Fi caused me to disconnect from the lobby. But we'll see what he can do down in 14. We would expect people that get promoted from the lower division to do absolutely horrible, but with Ryan B and Harry F, they're showing that that is not possible. Yet you can do well in a higher division if you play your cards right.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And there's 2 people I'm looking at who have kind of bounced up and down the divisions in their time. I've raced both of them many times, which is YHYY, who is looking very, he's looking very under par really in the standings for me. I would expect more from him as someone of his caliber. He's kind of just been floating around the back end of the points, but also a chap who has raced here for many years and raced in pretty every division going, which is MCR, who's in 10th, who has actually had a fairly decent start to the season. So he needs to try and keep himself in contention for a title bid here. But will be interesting to see. He doesn't speak a lot of English if you ever come across him. But he's a lovely man. So Vamos MCR. Hopefully he's listening.
Exactly. I believe in the power rankings last season, he was the most consistent driver in all of LOE in a good way. So that was great to see, and it's not really that surprising. He's fifth in the standings. He didn't race last week, but every race he's taken part in, he scored points, and he scored some decent points in the sprint weekend format as well. He scored 20 points overall, which is a nice haul of points, to be honest, for the Aston Martin driver. Riding on board with Mick at the moment. It's the home of the Tifosi, so they're hoping the Tifosi want the Ferraris to do well. This track was built in 1922 and was just the third permanent autodrome in the world. Had quite a few changes over its time. There used to be an oval banking back in the day as well, but they got rid of it. It's quite a few other changes as well. It used to be over 10 kilometres, this track, and it included a 5.5 kilometre road section, but now obviously it was changed to around about 5.7 kilometres, so just over half has been cut off, which to be honest I prefer, because otherwise it'll take too long, because you can't have more than 7 kilometres, which is what Belgium has. We're there at Belgium this week actually as well, but we'll see what the two Ferraris can do as they're starting their, I believe, final. I don't know how much we've got left in the session, because it still says yellow flag in sector 3, so I think that's just people just slowing down, just getting heat into the tyres, but we'll see how he does in the middle sector. I think a 54 something will be good for him. 53.1, that is a not decent middle sector for the Ferrari driver who won in Imola, but he didn't get a good exit for Ascari there, and he didn't do too well in the last couple of races, so he needs to improve and know why he did well in Imola. Well, it is another Tifosi track, so maybe that could help him in a way as well. He's on the sub-compounded tyre at the moment. What can he do? Can he get from 8th on the grid to pole position? No, but 4th place right now, still pretty decent, but P2 and P4, they're a little bit further away right now, so got a lot of work to do. 4 minutes left to go of qualifying, so plenty of time for people to go back into the pits and get one final lap in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Decent lap into the 19s is always going to, I think, is pretty solid here. So I do expect a few more to get in there though, because look at that pace difference. Marty putting himself on provisional pole, and again, kind of highlighting what we said. You know, it's no surprise. It sounds a bit strange saying that the chap with no points is on pole, but it's not, because that's not his problem. His one lap pace isn't his issue.
No.
But what will come is what happens in the race is we have another set of yellows, which I think is a Harry F. I think. No, apologies. I believe
it was Ryan Belshaw that's binned it. Ryan Belshaw's binned it. I think it was one of the first. I think it was one of the first Lesmos actually. His car's gone, so he's now out of qualifying in the Williams. Unfortunately, his car was gone, so we can see where exactly he binned it, but actually it was the second Lesmo actually scrapped up the middle of the first Lesmo into the second Lesmo where he binned it, so unfortunate. So he's going to be starting no higher than 13th position, which for some of the drivers this season it's not a bad position to be in right now. It's unlucky for some, but lucky for others, as Harry F's going to about to start his flying lap as Slayer is in the middle of his lap going through the first Lesmo. A few 100ths down on his previous best, but there's a lot of time where you can find in the final set there's another yellow flag. It's just a Ferrari moving out of the way because they're on their outlap. Okay, that is absolutely fine, but we'll see what Slayer could do in the house course. Another Ferrari powered car, so that is another car that we are expected to do well. Same with the AlphaTauri. Remember a few years ago we saw Pierre Gasly take his first win here. Slayer's binned it for Ascari. He avoided the wall though. Good car control. I wouldn't be able to do that. But that is his first lap at least over. His tyres are going to be really hot after that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's quite nice. I was a bit worried for Harry F and Maverick, the way they were coming around, because of everyone's going to be exiting the pit fairly sharpish. But obviously the pit lane is quite kind here. It kind of stays off the racing line, so they've been able to not be affected. As Maverick is coming through the second Lesmo, where we've seen a lot of people struggle there. I think you can get on the power a bit quicker out of that corner, so not optimal. So he needs a lap on the board. He's under pressure here, and that's obviously going to be factoring in, especially on this turn in. It's so easy to invalidate, and he does take it slightly safe, but he is going to get a lap on the board unless something disastrous happens around Parabolica.
To be honest, I would play it safe around the Sky myself, because if I don't, I usually bin it, as Harry F has retired from the session. He's binned it. He's binned it for a Scary, so another victim of a Scary tonight. Same, I think, similar to Matt Tibos, but slightly earlier. As Maverick up to the line, he improves to P7. That is more like it for the AlphaTauri man, with 50 seconds left to go on the clock. His teammate, Chill, is about to start his final run. Who else is about to start their final run? I think Melty is coming across the line, as well as the Haas of, well, it's not Slayer, it's Valter who's about to start as well. We'll keep an eye on everybody as they go through the set to one split as well. The fastest time at the moment is McLaren and Marty with a 1:19.499, closely followed by Pastor Jasper with a 1:19.6, and we got Chill Mick as we got an invalidation for Marty. So I don't think he could have enough time to improve. We'll see if he gets to the line in time. And we'll see if he's got enough ERS, but I think you burn a lot of ERS around here, so don't be surprised for him to go in the pits. Yes, he goes in the pits. So that is Marty's qualifying done. Can Pastor Jasper put it on pole? Wow. Yes, he does.
Massive lap. Marty, yeah, with that invalidation wasn't ideal from him, but what a clutch lap. That is an incredibly quick lap. That is hair-raising, to be fair, as YY is the next man to come around, and he is all over the place through Parabolica, and he's slowed up. He's the game is over for him for this one, as Aledi now also invalidated, but we have Chill coming around, who is also invalidated, so that is bad news for those guys, and Maverick's pitting, so the top three may well be fairly set, and as well as Chris, who is also invalidated. And Mr. Valter is completely slow off the racing line. This could really be it. Camke now is the next man over the line. He's got a lot of time to improve on, but he is 3 attempts up. He could even get up his way towards YY. Looks very tentative there through Parabolica. And he's
aborted. He's aborted. I think, to be fair, starting 15th around Monza is not a bad idea, because he can avoid the carnage, so I think that's probably why he aborted, even though he was going to improve anyway. I think that would have put him by Melty, I think, if he stayed out, so, and he didn't want to be at the middle, to be fair. I think if he had a lap that would have been near the top three, I think he would have carried on, but unfortunately, no. So it is the Tifosi favour of Pastor Jasper on pole position, and the Tifosi will definitely like that. His teammate is in 4th, then we got the Alfa Romeo in 8th position. Obviously the other Alfa Romeo is not here tonight, and we've got Chill in 3rd position. So out of the championship contenders, Chill is the one that is the highest at the moment, so Chill have the one the most advantage. Obviously Bode is not here tonight, so due to his race ban, but we'll go through your results then for qualifying for the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. Jasper's on pole, Marty 2nd, Chill in 3rd, Mick in 4th, Valter 5th, Chris 6th, Maverick 7th, YY 8th, Melty 9th, Ryan B is in 10th, so even though he retired early on due to his crash, P10, not too bad as well. I think he could have challenged for pole if he didn't bin it. And we got Slayer, MCR, Aledi, Ryan B, Cam, Harry F, and Matt Tibos round up the grid. Matt Tibos obviously had a crash right at the start of the session, so he didn't set a lap. Everyone else is around about 1.2 seconds off each other, which is pretty good as well. But yeah, decent qualifying session from everybody, but I think there's a lot of drivers that will need to improve there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Ryan B can do, because his banker put him in 10th in a very closely kind of compacted grid. So he would probably feel he has more pace. So excited to see what he can do and see if he can kind of mirror his D4 pace. And one thing we haven't even talked about at all, which I'm guessing isn't a factor because normally it comes up in the chat, is the weather. So it looks completely bone dry, which, if I'm honest, I think at a race like Monza, it's better. It's better,
yes,
because it's more troublesome in the dry than the wet. You know, it's a bit more risk reward going over places like Ascari, the second Lesmo, and even Parabolica, which some of the drivers were struggling with. So, look, I'm going to ask you a question actually. How many safety cars are we going to get today?
I'm going to go with 3. With Division 3, they always like to bring out safety cars. I'm going to ask you the same question.
Do you know, that would probably be my guess. I'm
You can
gonna
go the
say.
same you want.
No, I'm gonna say. I'll say 2. I'll say 2. I'll have a bit more faith in them. There's only 17 of them.
Fair enough. Yeah. That is true. I think there was one time in Division 5 last season, I think it was Hungary, where it was on reduced and we had like 4 or 5 safety cars. So, or it might have been another track actually, I don't know, but that was last season. Let's hope nothing bad happens tonight in terms of safety cars anyway, but it would bring people back into this race. So we'll keep an eye on the tyres then. So we got the top 4 that opting for the hards. Valter on the mediums. So we got Chris, Maverick, YHYY on the hards. Melty, Ryan B, Slayer on the mediums. MCR on the hards. Aledi on the mediums. Ryan Belshaw on the mediums. Cam on the hards. And then we got Harry F to Matt Tibos on the mediums. So quite an even split between the ones that opted for the hards and the mediums. But I'm just looking at the deltas between the tyres. It's not really much different, but I didn't do much practice for my race this week, so I don't have a clue which is the best tyre to start the race on, but it's only 4 tenths difference, so technically you can start on either tyre. It's just whichever tyre best suits your preference really for the start of the race.
Yeah, the only thing to consider is the warm-up phase really on the hards is a lot higher than it is on the mediums, which is particularly problematic if you're doing medium hard, because that will be the strategy for most people. The only advantage I think that people will have here is that there's a high chance with the safety cards. I'm surprised so many have picked the hards, because I could actually see this quite easily being a medium with a few softs chucked in as well. So
there could be safety cars, so I'm a bit surprised as well that quite a few people have opted for hards to start with. I think they think it's going to be less safety cars, but if there is one at the start of the race, they're probably going to regret them. Actually, they wouldn't mind it being at the start of the race. It would help them more than hinder them. But we will about to go through the start, as we already had one person disqualified from the formation lap. We had about 5 last week. That's Matt Tibos having a second, Aledi the third. There's only 3. Okay, better than last week. So, we are about to get underway. Jasper on pole. We've got Marty alongside. The 5 red lights are on. And it is lights out. And away we go. Jasper's got a really good start off the line, heading towards T1. But Marty's got a good toe from Jasper as we head towards there as well. Let's hopefully they don't cause too many problems, and there's already contact from quite a lot of drivers. A lot of drivers had to take the escape road, as Jasper's already got a penalty for corner cutting, and he's already down into P2. Marty takes the lead, but I think that was a bit questionable for the McLaren driver. Cam's already made his way up to 4th. Ryan B in the Mercedes has got a good start. He could get past Mick heading towards turn 4, but he doesn't quite do so at the moment. Quite a lot of good starts for some people. The top 3 pretty much haven't budged in terms of who's in the top 3. Everybody else either seems to be struggling or doing well, but I was expecting worse, to be honest. I think the only trouble was with the front lot, but I think Jasper will definitely try and get that penalty removed, because I think I don't know, obviously we're not a steward, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Ryan B with a sensational start, up to 6th already. So now I'm extra excited to see his progress, because him and Valter are the lead medium runners, as Mick has binned it. Mick is in the wall. He's lost it on traction out of Ascari, and he is still alive though. That is the main thing around here. Wait for the safety car, Mick. There's going to be one coming, almost certainly. Yeah,
there's bound to be a safety car, so it's not over for Mick yet. But I don't think he's got damage though. Let me have a look at his car. No damage, so he's just had a spin. He avoided the wall as well, so fair play. So Marty's going to have a second run on Jasper heading towards turn 1. Melty got the move on YHYY there, up into 8th position. And YHYY is actually fighting back. It's great side-by-side action. Hopefully they don't make too much contact as well. It's going to be 3 wide with Ryan Belshaw trying to get both of them actually, but to no avail it looks like. But he's not giving up. We've got Matt Tibos on the Letty as well. There's so much action happening already in the space of a few laps. We're already on lap 2 as Ryan Belshaw, I think, just has the edge there a little bit. We'll see what we could do on the first Lesmo then, as Melty's down into 10th position. Cam has got past MTR again, up to 12th. So that is a position gain for the Red Bull driver as well. We'll look at positions gain for everybody in just a second. Already people starting to lose a lot of VRS, so they are pushing a bit too much for some drivers because they want to have ERS at last for most of this race. As Melty goes down the inside through towards Ascari, past Ryan Belshaw, up to 9th.
One thing I've noticed here as Ryan gets past Chris as well is Marty is running a hell of a lot lower wings than Pat's Jasper. So watch this. If neither of them Jasper's using, which is unfortunate. Oh, we have a yellow, and that's Harry F.
Oh, that's Harry F that's had a spun, and that was Cam as well. So I wonder if both of those drivers have made a bit of contact with each other. But I'm sure the stewards will have something to say about that. But yeah, that it was a shame. Now it's towards the final corner as well, which is now called, I think, the Alberetta curve. But we still like to call it Parabolica because it's nicer, and I do remember it as Parabolica rather than the Alberetta curve. But anyway, another topic for another day. And look at that, Jasper's already broken free of Marty with the DRS zone, 1.3 seconds. So I think Chill's going to really start to challenge Marty very, very soon in the next few laps. I thought someone had a bit of a spin there, but it was just my imagination. Speaking of Ferrari powered cars, we've got another one that's doing very well with Valter up into 6th place. We'll see if he can get past Chris on the fresh and mediums. These medium tyre runners need to get past the hards ASAP because they're going to be the ones that are going to be pitting first, even though it's not going to be much of a difference, 3 laps difference. So you've really got to start thinking about moves as soon as you can, because otherwise being on the mediums is not the best idea unless it's a safety car. So heading towards the Alberetta curve then, and we'll see if anyone can challenge for the move. I think Valter will be the first person to do so, but we'll see if Ryan B could do so. But we'll keep an eye on the Haas driver. He's got DRS, 45% ERS. So is he going to challenge heading towards T1? It doesn't look like it. He's backed off. I think he realised there wasn't enough space there. So he's being cautious and he's saving some ERS too, which is, I think, the right call, because it is a long race. Even though it's the shortest in terms of time, it does feel like it's a long time in certain places because the way the track is developed. But we'll have to wait and see anyway. As Marty's getting a bit more time on Jasper in that lap. He's now gained, I think, about 5 tenths on Jasper on this lap alone. So he's now starting. He wants to push now.
100%. He definitely is running lower wings as well. So yeah. He's able to just extract a little bit more time down the straights, and that's going to be handy for him. As I think that's YHYY.
Yeah, it is YHYY that spun same place as Harry F did, I think. No, yeah. not Harry F.
Oh, in quali.
In quali, yeah, in quali, yeah. Having Harry F spun there in quali as well. But yeah, again, no damage for YHYY. I think there's hardly been any damage for people at the moment. I think the only people that went into the pits is MCR, Harry F and Mitt. Everybody else has stayed out quite fine. As don't forget, in Eloise, top 12 score points, and if you do finish inside the top 12 and get past the lap, you do get an extra point as well. I need to remember if you do in this league, because I lose count of how many leagues I commentate on. I think you do. I might be wrong.
You do indeed.
Good. There's one league I know that doesn't, but I'll find out what league it is in a minute. But I think it's starting to cool down at the moment in terms of battle. I think they're just saving your ERS. Speaking of that though, is Ryan B closing on Chill? I think he is, but again, not quite close enough. Again, he's saving some ERS.
Yeah, absolutely. The front two seem to be saving quite a little bit actually, as MCR sets the fastest lap of the race.
Wow.
So obviously got some pace. Just unfortunately he's had a moment, but Ryan B is doing really well. The top 6 really have broken away from Maverick. Melty will be quite keen to get past Maverick at the earliest opportunity, which really isn't down into Ascari. And he's almost kind of accidentally getting close there, but he just needs to hang on to the back of him, and it should be like work, as we have a spinner, which is Mr. Valter.
Well caught though from Valter. He managed to get the car stopped in time, but I think he's going to cool down his tyres though, because otherwise he's going to be overheating quite a lot as the Haas driver. But he's down in 12th, still point territory, but he wasn't running about in 6th. Meanwhile, Melty is going to go for a move on Maverick. Maverick running in 7th position, which is really good. And he's got passed by Melty, so Melty is up into 6th. But can Maverick challenge him heading towards T1? He doesn't. There's a big DRS train to worry about at the front as well, which is why some people are not going for the move. But Jasper has broken free of DRS once again, so that's not good news if you are Marty. I think there's just certain places where people are pushing, there's certain places where he's not. I think Jasper's using his overtake, I think, through heading towards the first Lesmo, whereas Marty, I think, is just saving up a little bit. But we'll obviously have to wait and see as the race goes on as well. These hards could last 20 laps as well. So if there was any weather contentions, if it was obviously a drive to race, they can get these hards to around about 20 laps, no problem. But obviously it doesn't look like it's going to rain in the race, which is ideal, like you were saying earlier. But heading towards lap number 7. Let's look at positions gained, actually, because it's quite quiet, as Matt Tibos has actually gained the most out of everybody. 8 places after bidding in qualifying. He's in 9th at the moment. Ryan Belshaw up 6, as well as the other Ryan B. And Eddie up 3. Cam up 1. And
Melty's round.
Melty's round. So Melty is around. Has he got damage? I think. No, he hasn't. Gotta be careful though. Oh, luckily he moved out the way of Ryan Belshaw. There could have been a huge disaster there if that was the case. But Ryan B, sorry. Confusing my Ryan B's. I'm sorry. Why do they have to be 2 Ryan B's in this division? But at least they're in different teams. It's all good. But Ryan B held off Chris quite nicely there. But again, can't get past Chill at the moment as well. But we are heading towards a crucial phase of the race. We will start to see the medium runners pushing a little bit more to try and get ahead of some people before the pit stops.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Matt, with another place gained here, just picking up on people's mistakes, really. Him and Ryan B94 are both kind of doing that. As we have yellows again.
That's why HYY? Yeah, that is why HYY. Chicane. So we used to do though. I did that last season, I think, in Division 5. So yeah. Or it must have been another Monza race. I can't remember which Monza race it was, but I know it was one during the game cycle where I absolutely binned it there. So we used to do, but he's down in 14th. Not ideal for the Alfa Romeo driver that wants to do well for the Italian crowd, who have come out in full force here today at this moment in time. Melty's looking like he's going to get past his teammate very soon. Are there going to be any team orders for the Alpine boys, or are they just going to be forced to just, well, have each other's slipstream, because we've got a Letty catching up as well. Ryan Belshaw couples off to the right for Matt Tibos. Oh, Melty, be careful into turn 1. Matt Tibos got a bit squirmy on exit, heading towards Curva Grande, so that could have been a good chance for Melty. It is a good chance for Melty then. Through turn 3, here he comes to the left. He's going to hold his line, no, he backs off into turn 4. Again, that would be a recipe for disaster. But that is quite a big DRS train that's forming. We've got Mitt to set the fastest lap of the race so far. 122.6, that's quite fast race lap at the moment. Oh, Melty, he almost binned it there. Well caught, Sunshine. But Aledi didn't catch it, he spun.
Yeah, and he definitely hit the wall there, so he will have some damage. But Chill is really pushing. In fact, he's using everything. He's using everything down the back straight. He is struggling. He's not matching the pace of the 2 ahead. And Marty is, I think, really fastest on track. He's got the most battery, and he is going to use a little bit out of there. And he's just going to look at the delta. It just goes inwards and inwards and inwards. But I think Jasper may have reacted slightly there. So yeah, difficult for Chill. Chill's in a real battle here, because Chris is kind of getting dragged along, who's got a ton of battery. And Ryan is obviously on those mediums. Those mediums are going to start to wane fairly soon, though. But the top 5 are in a bit of a class of their own.
Yeah, definitely. But I think Chill has nothing to worry about, because Jasper, if he wins today, would only score 50 points. So as it stands, if it stays like this, Chill will be leading the championship. So I think he'll just be playing the long game. It doesn't matter if he wins tonight, as long as he's ahead of his main championship contenders. He doesn't really care too much, I don't think. But I know he wants to win, to make sure he wins the championship a lot earlier. So the pressure is less on his shoulders towards the end of the season, as Matt Tibos and Melty are still fighting for position. Slayer as well, potentially as well. Everybody else is a league their own. Chris actually got a good run down towards his back straight there. I think he's got much better straight line speed, it looked like, as well. I think Ryan B has got better straight line speed than Chill actually as well. Chill's definitely playing a long game, but he's got to act quick because Ryan better B, he's on those mediums, whereas Chill is on those hards. So we'll see what Ryan B can do in the Mercedes. He finished second last week. Can he finish ahead of Chill again this week? Well, the answer to that at the moment is yes. He's up to third in this race so far, which is pretty decent for him as well. 2.1 seconds behind Marty, but he's got the move done crucially before the crucial pit stop phase. So he needs to do that early, and he's done it. The only one on the medium runner, so it's making it work right now.
Yeah, and absolutely. I want to see Chris use a bit more of his battery now, because there's no point going into the pits with this level of battery, because you're just going to get it back up to 100%. So yeah. All of this is about I don't know the exact amount that you recover here, but I'd say there's about 20% at least here that is kind of just free real estate for him. So he might as well use a bit, and he's starting to use it. So
there you go. He's read your mind. I wonder if he's watching the stream.
Maybe.
It's hard for me to do, so I don't have the stream on in the background. I don't know how these guys do it, if they do it. I know Cam has the stream on in the background, but I think Chris is definitely pushing now. So it'll be interesting to see if he's going to use all that battery in this next phase of the race, because we don't have long to go until everyone makes their first pit stops again. Like I was saying, not much difference between the pit lane stop times in terms of when these drivers are going to have to go into the pits. We may see people on the hards maybe going to softs at the end if there's a late safety car in towards turn number 1 now. Shield brakes just a little bit later there to gain just a little bit more on Ryan B. And Chris is pushing. He's got to push even more though if he wants to get past Shield. So he can pass Curvo Grande now. I don't think he's close enough actually. This dirty air is definitely not helping him, but you can run closer. Yellow flag. That is Melty. That's had a moment in the escape. So I think, did he lost in turn number 1? It looked like he did. So he's down into 11th position, just ahead of Cam.
Yeah, Harry F's having a miserable time of it out there. He's just been lapped. He's the first man to do so. So he's going to be hoping and praying that he can keep it on track, and there's a safety car fairly shortly, because then he can probably overtake the leaders as they pit and get back on the lead lap. But that's kind of his last chance. Only reason why I'm thinking that strategy is because that's probably something I'm going to have to think about later.
I think we both have to think about. I think we both will get lapped, I think, later.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting here with Chris. Chris has got a lot of batteries. We said as Ryan now pits, so this unleashes Chris. Chill will have the DRS for this occasion, but now Chill's going to kind of been left to his own devices.
That is interesting. I was expecting Ryan B to pit, I think, lap 3rd at the end of lap 12. So it's a lap earlier than intended, but he wants to get that undercut. So fair play to him. We'll see if it works and see if it pays off. 23 seconds you lose in the pit lane. So he comes out now on a set of hard tyres. We'll get to the end. You'll be on the hards for 15 laps. So plenty of time to get those hards up to temperature, but you got to get those up to temperature very, very quickly. So I think that's probably why he's gone now, to take advantage of the ones who will pit later and will be on much colder tyres than him. Meanwhile, Melty's in as well, obviously, because he's spun and he's on hards. Letty is in too, so we have 3 drivers coming into the pits. I won't be surprised if the likes of Belshaw, Matt Tibos, Valter will come in as well, because they've seen the likes of Ryan B come in, and already Ryan B is catching up. But I think we know that Ryan B is running a completely different race to the other medium runners as well, as all Matt Tibos gained a penalty. So we've got 3 drivers on the penalty. Well, technically 2, because I think Jasper will get the penalty removed. But at the moment, as it stands provisionally, we've got 2 drivers on the penalty board. Not ideal, but I'm quite surprised that not many people are getting penalties. I think you can tell who's been practicing around this. Is someone coming into the pits? That is Ryan Belshaw. He is coming into the pits to serve his mandatory stop and will go onto the hard tyres. None of the other medium runners are doing so though. So Ryan Belshaw, this could be make or break, because he was in that train with Matt Tibos and Mr. Valter there. So if he times that well, he could be ahead of both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a few, like I say, a few more pitters. But I think what's really interesting is Ryan B hasn't lost a ton of time to YHYY. Yes, I know the tyres are quite different in regards to age, but the warm-up phase doesn't seem to be as awful here as it is on other tracks. So this will be interesting. He's going to start eating into this to this lead, you would assume. And I'm just keeping an eye on the leader time. It's a 29-second gap. So let's keep an eye on that. Let's see if that goes up or down.
Yeah, 20. So as long as he gets the gap up to 23 seconds, he could get the lead. But I don't think he's aiming for the lead. I think he's aiming for the podium. But I know he's a racer at heart. He wants to get the win, so he's going to do all he can. But if there's a safety car, that's probably ruined it for him. So for the top 5, they're praying in their mind, safety car, safety car, safety car. And Ryan B is praying no safety cars. Chris Chill's in. Chill is in then. So I'm looking at my data. He's pitting 2 laps earlier than I thought he was going to do, because the predicted strategy was pit lap 15 from the hards to set the mediums, and you stay on the mediums for 12 laps. So, but the mediums do last 15 laps, but they're going to be a little bit less optimal towards the end. Very interesting. Very interesting, as Ryan B has got ahead of Chill there, and Chill was near the front. So Ryan B, that undercut worked a treat.
It has, and now Chill needs to try and stay in this warm-up phase close to Ryan B to help him drag him along. But he hasn't. It looks like he's not going to be within a second down the back straight on the run up to Ascari. So this could be a bit problematic for Chill, realistically. But they're in a bit of clean air, the pair of them. They've got Cam K quite a way ahead, so they can work together a little bit to try and soften the blow to where Chris is, and also try and catch Marty and probably quite unlikely, but also Jasper. Marty's in.
Exactly, and I think this is probably throwing a few feathers to the guys up front, thinking, hang on, I may need to pit soon as well, and that's what Marty has done. So Marty has come in as well for a set of the mediums, so we'll see where he comes out. We'll watch Ryan B and Chill coming towards the Alboreto curve now. Maverick is in as well. I'm surprised Matt Tibos hasn't come in. I'm a bit confused, because he should have come in ages ago. Same with likes of MCR, but that I'm not the one who does the strategy. So there is Maverick. Maverick's in a not too bad position, actually, because he was further away from these guys anyway. But he is down in a net P3 out of the 1-2 stop, so that's a decent pit stop for Maverick. But don't forget, he's got that 3-second time penalty, so he's got that looming under his head at the moment. So this is now the time where the likes of Jasper, Chris, Cam, YHYY, they all gonna have to come in now. If they don't come in now, then the more time they're gonna lose. Or are we gonna see what we saw last week? People just stay out for as long as they can, hoping for a late safety car, and that could be brought back into this race. And I predicted 3 safety cars at the moment. We haven't received any so far. Let's hope we don't receive any. That'll be good for Division 3, because we had like far too many in Division 3 last week. But we got none so far, touchwood. Saying that, there may be one in a minute, which I probably jinxed it. But anyway, Jasper and Chris are in. Ryan B is heading towards the Alboreto curve now. I think Jasper's going to come. Yeah, Jasper's going to come out way ahead. So no matter when he pitted, he would have been fine. What about Chris though? Oh, it's going to be tight.
Chris is going to be very interesting.
Ryan B has got him. So Ryan B is ahead of Chris, but is he going to be ahead of Chill? Oh, tight towards turn number 1. I think they're keeping it steady there. That was very tight as well. But don't forget, Chris is on much colder tyres, so he's going to take a while to get up to temperature, while Chill can pull away a little bit. And this is all helping Ryan B out here.
100%. That was shades of Hamilton Verstappen, wasn't it? It was exactly the same kind of place, same kind of incident. Thankfully, not the same kind of result. Yeah. But Chris is using now, so he's doing well to hang on. He's doing really well, but he is losing so much time. But he is going to be in that DRS, so that's going to save his bacon a bit, because Chill does not have it.
No, Chill does not have any at all, so he's got a lot of work to do So I'll keep an eye on who has made their stops and who hasn't. So only 2 drivers have yet to make their pit stop, and that's Cam and Matt Tibos.
Valtter's out.
Valtter's out.
Tibos. Is this ill?
Safety
Tibos.
car.
This is huge. This is huge. Tibos is going to go onto those softs, and Tibos will be.
No, softs can't make it. Softs can't make it to the end. They have to go on medium, surely.
I think he's going to give it a go. And yeah, he is. He's putting on the softs. So he's giving it a go.
What about Cam? He's going on mediums.
I think if you've got a set of mediums, it's definitely the thing to do. So anyone still on those hards, which isn't really anybody.
Well, I think it's Ryan B, Ryan Belshaw, Slayer, Melty, Leddy, and Mick. They're on the hards right now.
Why have they not pit for softs? This is very confusing.
Well, some of them haven't even passed the pit lane. So,
that is a good point.
If I was Harry F, I would box for softs because he's down in last anyway. If I was Mick, I would do the same. I know your tyres will be very patchy towards the end, but, you know, it could work. Mick stays out, so we'll see what Harry F can do. Not many people have come in. I swear to God, there's VSC. It wasn't a safety car. VSC.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was a safety car, but I wasn't paying attention to the map. But oh no, Harry F. That's not good. That's why people didn't pit then. There we go. That explains it.
Why didn't he stay out? Because now he's lapped. He might as well have just tried to stay out as long as he could because he unlapped himself. There was a safety car. He was back in the race. Don't think he was thinking that through. He's obviously not thinking like a lap driver. As Jasper now on the back of Marty for the lead. He takes it up the inside. He can't get it stopped.
No, that's not good. That's not what you do in LOE, guys. Just keep it clean. As Marty's gone into a spin. I'm almost certain Ryan B's going to get him now. Maybe Chill as well. But with Matt Tibos on the softs, can those softs make it at full pace? We'll have to wait and see. So maybe the mediums would be the best option, but I don't. Well, he had a set of mediums yet, so I don't get it. But we're seeing some lapped cars once again, and yeah, I'm a bit fuffled. Before, I think the VSC was going to last a bit longer, I think, which it didn't. So that's probably why.
Still not bad for him though. It's not awful for oh well, that's awful for him as he gets another 3-second pen. But I tell you what, I'm wondering here if there's some damage flying around for Jasper because he hit that car fairly hard, and it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. But Chill now has his sights finally, almost you feel, on the back of Ryan B, and you got to feel like he's got to get this done sooner rather than later and use that tyre advantage.
He's definitely got the traction coming out the corner. Melty's out. Melty's out for a Ascari. Now, is that a full course yellow or is that a VSC? That is definitely a full course yellow because I do see a yellow dot of a safety car. So, wow. What would you do? What would you do?
I would put
softs on.
Yeah.
If you're near the back, at least.
Everyone's going to pit. So Ryan B behind, they're all going to pit. That's going to just completely cascade.
Saying that, they probably won't now. Now Cam's gone in, even though he pitted just now. So is that saying something? If you're not on soft, you're screwed. MCR, go on, pit. He's not pitting. Why? Why are you not pitting, MCR? It's a no-brainer. Mick's not pitting as well. They're going to get absolutely swamped. This is... Harry F must stay out, but he's lapped already, look.
Well, he's got to hope that the guys in front of him pit. Oh, Jasper's got a 3-second time penalty.
Where's that?
So
Scary?
I don't know. Yeah, he must have just been a bit lazy and just yeah, bizarre. So really interesting to see what he's going to do. I mean, under my logic, Lord knows. And I think he's thinking about it. He doesn't seem to want to commit, does he? What's he going to do?
What's he going to do? Come on, he's in. Okay, he's in. Right, Marty stays out. Ryan B is in. Chill stays out. Maverick's in. Matt Tibos. well, Matt Tibos, well, the ones who were on softs anyway, a few laps ago, they could stay out anyway. So I think we're just waiting on. So unfortunately, I don't think has Harry F been lapped by Marty, Chu, or Chris yet.
He has. He's unfortunately for him, his heart will have sunk. His heart will have sunk, but White YY and Aledi and Mick will be very happy with that. As Maverick coming out of the pits now. This does change things, and I think what's really interesting with this is that you've got Tibos out there on those used softs. He's got time pens, as has Jasper. So, but you really, what the front three really need right now is for Tibos to kind of just be slow enough for Jasper and Ryan B to be affected. But you would argue at this point, the race win is, well, our two net leaders, so to speak, in a very strange way, would be Ryan B and Marty. Because Ryan's obviously pen free, and Marty obviously is the true race leader, with Chill and Chris behind. But that Chill and Chris, I think, will be particularly nervous with this absolute...
Chill doesn't like safety cars, does he? It never goes well, because most of the safety cars that go basically upon him, it goes against his way and he doesn't win the race. This is like the third week in a row that it's happened to him. He's not going to like it at all. But at least this time, it's not against Cam. It's against the likes of Matt Tibos, Sebastian Jasper, and Ryan B. And both the Ryan Bs, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Chris is on the same strategy as him, who is somewhat in the title race at this point.
Exactly.
So they're on the same strat. I suppose Chill, the way Chill can look at this is that he's second in his little group. Whereas if he would have pit, he would have been behind Ryan B, and he would have been in he'd have been in 6th place. So he would have ended up 4th in the train of soft runners. That's the one thing he has to think about, really. And he's going to be looking for people like Chris and Tibos to really do him a favour. But the problem is Chris looks very racy. So don't necessarily think this is going to be the last safety car, because I could see some carnage going here with the different variations in tyres here.
Oh, bring it on. So we've had one safety car. Will we get 2 more? No, we won't get 2 more. It's literally impossible. But we may get close to Mark's prediction of 2. Let us know in the comments, by the way, or in the live chat. Do you think there's going to be one more safety car, or is it just going to be the one? Let us know. Get your predictions in, guys. 11 people in the chat as well. And Lou Anderson United is enjoying our commentary combo. Thank you very much. I hope you're enjoying the stream as well. And nice to see you supporting League of Europe. Don't forget, Division 2 and Division 4 will be starting in, well, just under an hour's time, where they're racing around Monza as well. And you've got Division 1 racing at the moment as well, around Monza. I don't even know what's going on with Division 1 at the moment, because I'm not even checking their live stream. I wonder if they got any wet weather madness. Nobody's completely dry for them at the moment, and it is, surprise, surprise, Montana's leading that race. He's just dominating that league at the moment, but he's got Connor chasing him down. So yeah, that is the update for Division 1 at the moment. 3 retirements are in Division 1, so we're doing better than them at the moment in that front. Safety car should be in, I think it should have been in this lap, because everyone's caught up. I'm very shocked, but anyway, it should be in this lap now. So last lap, and then it'll be all guns a blazing. Turn 1's going to be interesting. Keep it clean, lads.
Yeah, it's going to be really... It's a very tough place to know where to go as the leader as well, because the drag is so long down to the first corner, and you can't really surprise anyone with Parabolica, because it's a long sweeping corner. It's not like it's a last chicane up Suzuka kind of environment where you can go on the apex while the other person's still going around the corner. You're all going around the corner. So tough to know where to go. Really tough restart. Probably one of the toughest on the calendar, I would suggest. And I think you've got to have your wits about you. And also, the big thing here is don't go into the back of someone. Don't try and over predict and cause an incident, which could be a trouble in the midfield. But tough to call this one. Really tough to call. But Ryan B, if fates go with him, he could be on for a podium here.
Or even win it.
Both. Both Ryan B's.
Right, let us know in the chat, guys. Is Ryan B going to win this race? Interesting. Or will it be? You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the F2 sprint race where we had exactly the same situation. A lot of people on mediums, on the medium-ish tire, and there was people on the softs. But there was this was, I think, how many laps to go in this race. And the ones with track position, they most of them, well, there was only one person on the softs that was able to break free, and that was Djokovic. Everyone else didn't get the start they want. Oh God, Marty's going super early. No, super late actually, and she's been caught off guard.
Caught him.
We're green. It's green. Here in Eloise once again, and no one could overtake just yet. But there's a lot of weaving going on at the front, and we'll see what he's heading towards T1. All three medium runners are trying to get past Harry F. Needs to move out the way soon, because otherwise they can distract him a little bit as well. Here's the first of the soft runners, Matt Tibos. Trying to get past Chris, but to no avail as well. And he's using a lot of his ERS. And speaking of that, Jasper's in this as well. Ryan B has had a horrific showing at the moment, but I think, obviously, since he's got no pens, I think he has nothing to worry about. But there could be other drivers that can chase them down and force people to get penalties as well. Jasper's got a good run on Matt Tibbles there with the fresher tyres.
Oh, he's pushing.
They made contact. That was Jasper's fault by far, but it might, because he made a bit of contact there, but I'm not entirely sure. But that was for my first glance at the moment. As Maverick, is he going to get past Ryan B? No, not quite. As the medium runners, just like we saw in F2 earlier, they're breaking free at the moment. As we've got a yellow flag, that's YHYY. Yeah, that's YHYY.
Yeah, so Marty has really checked out. Good respect to Harry F for trying to get himself unlapped. It's not going to work, unfortunately, as Chill is now going to be breezing past him, you think. Although Harry is, no, he's not using hers, but going to be a distraction, really, for Chill. Not something you want into the braking zone. It's especially irritating because you feel like they shouldn't be there in the first place, which doesn't help your kind of nerves and anxiety. But this has been a disaster for Jasper. It really has, as Chris has got a problem. Chris is moving out the way for people. Chris may have got damage on the back of Chill.
He might have done.
I can't work out why he just let Jasper through on a straight. It's almost certain. Keep an eye through this corner. Ryan B, how much does he close up? No, I don't know. Maybe Chris just lost it. So very strange. Oh, look. Yeah, I mean, Harry needs to get out of the way.
He's going for Chill again. Jasper's going for Chill for P2 this race, which could make a difference. This could make a difference. The first bar soft runner has broken free. Yellow flag. Oh, that was a phantom yellow flag. That was just Harry F letting people by due to him being lapped, I think, at the moment. So as it stands, Marty will win this race. Chill will be second. Then it'll be Chris, Ryan B, Maverick. Then the other Ryan B. Then probably Jasper. But I might be wrong. I'm looking at Ryan Belshaw's ERS, by the way. He's on 9%. He's used up a lot. Which is annoying, as we got Matt Tibos that's had a bit of a moment. So his tyres, his soft tyres are definitely dead right now. So yeah, his race is over, unfortunately, unless 3 more people retire.
Yeah, I think that's his lot. I think he's had enough. There's not going to be another safety car to save him, so
no.
Yeah, as much as it. Oh no, he's carrying on by the looks of it. So fair play.
Yeah, he is.
But yeah,
maybe
Ryan.
a fast lap, but even though it probably won't count. But
Oh, Ryan B's in the wall, and he's made contact with it.
He did the same thing he did earlier, but at least he saved it this time. He did it before. I think he did it before his crash earlier, I think. What a shame. Right, that's commentator's curse. I'm so sorry, Ryan B. You can blame me.
That is awful luck as Chill now going really wide. Maverick picks up another pen. So Camke again. This lad, all he seems to do is wander around at the back and then work his way up through safety cars. And he's done a cracking job again. Fair play, but he's got Slayer on his back. But great performance from him to keep his nose clean and just work his way through the field. But what's really interesting here is that Jasper is all out of ERS, completely and utterly depleted, and it hasn't worked. He hasn't managed to break away from Chill and Chris, which was his kind of master plan. Nearly worked, but that's kind of, unless that Chill or Chris make a mistake, that's his race run, you have to feel.
Yeah, that is a shame for Jasper, because the Tifosi would have definitely wanted Jasper to win this race, but Marty is already breaking free. He's doing a Liam Lawson type performance, which is great to see, as Letty has got past Slayer in towards turn 4. So that was a nice move, actually. That was, well, so I don't think Slayer wanted to challenge that move. I think he let Letty through, which is fair enough. Pick your own battles, and if you don't think you have the pace for it, then that's fine. But he's now on the same amount of tyres, so I wonder if Letty's having better time management, but we have to wait and see. We're almost on the final lap of this race. It's gone so quickly so far, and again the shortest on time as well, and with less safety cars. Fair play to most people for keeping it clean. Marty has got a lot of ERS to use, so maybe he could try and go for fastest lap on means, which will be hard, but we'll see. MCR has got past Slayer again. Slayer's struggling. I think Slayer might have got a bit of damage from earlier, I think.
Possibly, because he seems to be letting people through. It's really ruined MCR, because MCR doesn't have any DRS now, and
No.
that's allowed Mick to come through. And Mick, good. This is why you don't retire, because he's coming through and he's going to get a nice healthy little batch of points when he was pretty much out of the race. As Aledi has made a huge mistake here, and Mick might even get him.
And penalties as well, because Maverick's got penalties, quite a few penalties, so he could be, I think he could be to 8th, I think.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, absolutely.
So he could be in 8th place, which is for 5 points. Yeah, 5 points you would get for 8th place, which is a solid point if you're in Eloise. Now we're already on the final lap because there's so much going on. We're on the final lap. Jasper's pushing right now, but it's going to be too little too late for the Ferrari driver, because he's got the penalty anyway. Let's just hope he doesn't make a mistake, as Marty then, the man who has had such bad luck all season long, every single race he's taken part in, he is DNF. We got a yellow flag, but let's not pay our attention to that. He's got DNFs every single race he's taken part in, but today is all going to change. He starts off his Division 3 campaign in style. Jasper's gone off, but Marty has got his first point, first podium, and first win of the season. Chill now takes the championship lead in P2. Chris in 3rd. Ryan Belshaw in P4. What a result for him. And we've got to pick our driver of the days in a minute, actually, in a second. Cam in 5th. Aledi in 6th. Mick 7th. Maverick 8th. MCR 9th. White YY in 10th. Then we got Slayer and Jasper. They'll be your final point scorers. Who's got the fastest lap? Let me have a look. That belongs to Matt Tibos, so you won't get points. So, because everyone in the top 12 has just finished. But maybe Ryan B could steal it off him at the last second. Yeah.
He does.
By a country mile.
Oh, Jasper's not happy. That is a body blow to him. An absolute body blow. I mean, I have to say, you know, I'm sure the stewards will look into it, but what we saw earlier, I'm actually chuffed for Marty for winning that race, because he kept his head when he was spun, and yeah, that was a very solid performance. And look who come 5th, Camke again, just keeping his nose clean and just picking up a healthy batch of 10 points. Yeah,
I don't think he was expecting to win today, so he will be happy with 5th around Monza. So he's good around Monza, isn't he? So and he's probably a bit tired after that as well. And just a fact about Mr. Valter, not a good fact though. Tonight's DNF was his first DNF out of the whole time he was in LOE. So he hasn't had any DNFs up until this point. So tonight, that marks his first one. That is a shame. But he can bounce back next week. We go to the opposite of that. Marty, he's got his first win of the season. So Marty, just don't DNF anymore and you'll be fine. And he's still in the championship hunt now. So Marty is your race winner. Chill in P2. Then we got Chris, Ryan Belshaw, sorry. Then we got Cam in 5th. Letty's had a good performance as well in 6th. Mick in 7th. Maverick 8th. MTR 9th. YYY 10th. Slayer, Jasper, Ryan B, and Matt Tibos and Melty are your final point scorers with Harry F a lap down. And we only got 2 retirements, Melty and Valter. So, not too bad. We got to pick 3 drive of the days. I know where one of mine is going to. It's got to be the race winner, Marty. He won the race, and I know he's got a penalty. He might get a penalty from the stewards, but he won the race. And he did really well that last safety car. So one of mine is going to go to Marty. I'll let you... since you're the guest, I'll let you pick 2.
Okay. I think I'd go for Ryan Belshaw because of, he did effectively what we expect people to do in that sense, come through the field. Not the most glamorous of performances, but it didn't have to be. So I would say that. But also... bit left field. I mean, I think Chris did great, and as did Chill. But I would also put in IRT Mick, actually.
Yeah.
Purely because he was nearly lapped, he was nearly down, nearly out. I've seen many leagues, including our own. People would have thrown a strop, parked it in the pits, and then gave up. He didn't, and then he ended up getting quite a good performance at the end of it. So. Yeah, I think 3 very different reasons, 3 very different races, but yeah, I think all with their own little story there.
Yeah, definitely. So we got Marty, Ryan Belshaw, and Mick as our driver of the day nominees, which you can vote in a poll later. Now, since we're not on Discord, I think we need to. We should have time for some interviews. Can you do the honours of inviting? Okay, I know Chill wants to be interviewed. Let's try and get our top 3 into the party with us. That's going to be interesting. We haven't done PSN interviews in a long time, but let us know who your driver of the day is in the chat as well. I'm gonna let Larkin know as well now, because otherwise I'll get a ping later on from him saying, "Well, who are your driver of the days?" But I'm gonna go ahead of the game now. But there was a lot of drivers who I feel like need to improve for next week. Obviously, it was a shame about the DNF first time, but there was quite a few drivers that struggled. Obviously, Jasper lost it. He was very, very gutted, but there we go. So that is unfortunate.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's there's a lot of unfortunate incidents there, but. Yeah, I feel sorry for Matt Tibos. Matt's been in a lot of incidents lately, and that won't have gone down too well with him, I think, when he got span. But yeah, there's lots of good performances. The driving standards were a lot better. From they must. I'll be completely honest. I didn't see D3 last week, but it must have been awful.
It was clean, I think, up until like the middle of the race, and then that's when the incidents happened. So there we go.
Right.
So that's and then so D3 I think had the most incidents last week out of every single division, I think. And then I think it followed closely, not by a lot, but followed closely by our division, but not as much as Division 3. Division 3 had about twice as more on that. So hopefully we can get, as I need to probably accept the invitation to get our top 3 in. So, 3 players were added. So we got Chris, Chill, and Marty in the party. So if you are listening, guys, we'll see if we can get you in to get interviews. I nearly left the session now. I don't want to do that as well. Not much to say really, apart from I need to double check where are we next week on the 3rd of September. Oh, we go from the shortest in terms of time to the longest in terms of time. We go to Singapore next week. What do you think about that? How do you think the drives are going to fare around Singapore?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't know that, so that's really made that's ruined my day. So you can tell what I think about that. It's
not made my day either, so don't worry. I just found out just now.
It's such a tough track. It's tough for so many reasons. I mean, Lord, how tough it must be in real life. Lord knows how tough it must be. But the concentration required. It's a track where you drive at 90%. You know, really, in my experience anyway, you don't drive at the limit because it's just so dangerous. It's so easy to ping a wing, even in just setting the car up into entrances like over the bridge and stuff. So it's a real test of attrition, that race, and it will favour. Actually, this is a very interesting segue. It will favour someone like this chap who just come second today. Someone who just keeps their nose clean and just goes around the track effectively.
Yep, so we've got one person at least in the interview room. We've got Chill, who's come and joined us. Chill, can you hear us?
I can, yeah.
Brilliant. So another race which has been played by your least favourite thing, but you managed to finish second. You took the championship lead. Tell us what was going through your mind through that race.
Honestly, I was surprised at how quick the top two were in quali. I think I was told during quali that the pole in D3 would have been like 7th in D1. So
wow.
Yeah. But no, honestly, after seeing that, I'm happy with a second. And I'm just happy to have completed Monza without getting a warning, which is something.
Hey, that's better than what I could do. I've done many time trials and I get a few invalidations, so that's better than me. Speaking of qualifying, talk us through that qualifying session, because obviously there was a few people that were quicker as well. What parts of the track were the most difficult to get your lap together?
Honestly, I've not put much time into this track because F1 Manager came out, so I've just been doing that like the last 2 days. So I just went with a stability setup just to survive the race, which worked out, but it was a bit lacking in the straights, I think, because I'd lost quite a bit of time in sector 3, which is basically just straights after Parabolica, Ascari.
Yeah, fair enough as well. And obviously, you had the option to start on. Did you have a last minute decision on what tyre you're going to start on, or did you plan to start on the hards all along, thinking there was going to be a safety car towards the end?
I think most races I've wanted to start hards, but the safety car chance has thrown me off quite a few times. But at this point, whatever strategy I've been on, it's just the safety car's gone the other way, so I just sent it on hards this time and it worked out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Then, Mark, any questions for Chill?
Yeah, absolutely. So we all know that the drivers is not really a concern of yours, and you're more interested in the constructors.
Oh, of course.
Gained quite a few points on Red Bull today. Do you think you and Maverick are going to be able to get that over the line?
I mean, first of all, this is old school on a post D3 podium interview. What year is this?
Hey!
No, Mav was really good today, actually. If he didn't get a few of those pens, I think he had a few warnings which weren't too kind to him, but if he didn't get those, he would have been right up there as well. So I have faith that we can get the more important championship over the line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think second was probably the best you could have done today, wasn't it? Realistically.
Yeah.
Either way with a safety car, I think whatever decision you'd have made, I think it would have probably ended up in the same result, oddly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at least I've brought you good fortune, as I did many moons ago.
It's just luck. It's just luck. Mark ended up being in the same box at the same time as you getting a nice PT there. So that was good timing. I think I have one more question actually about next week. To Mark's disgust, we're at Singapore next week. Is that a track that you like or you hate? And where do you think you'll finish next week around there?
No, you can write that one off for the season. Just try and survive. I don't know. If I can get like a top 6, I'll be happy with that. But honestly, Singapore's just a bit of a stinker.
I think that's a lot of people are going to say that as well. So I think that's just survival for most people. So congratulations, Shaw, on your P2 and your championship lead. And I wish you the best of luck for next week to see if you can extend it in Singapore. Right, so I don't think we have anybody else wanting to join us, unfortunately. I think we had someone that said they couldn't. I think that was Chris, that couldn't join us. And I don't think we would have our race winner. I kind of wish we had our race winner because I wanted to see his reaction when he won the race, but he's not here tonight, unfortunately. But Mark, any final words before we do our last minute time trial practice?
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's what I'll be doing. But no, I think it's going to be interesting. I'd love to see Chill be the first person in history to win a title without winning a race in LOE, which I think would be quite funny.
Chill's won a race. He won a sprint. He won the sprint race.
Oh, you don't count that.
Shush.
That's basically pole. That's pole position. That's all that is. That's pole
We're putting it down as 2 poles at USA.
Well, yeah, that's points at the end of the day.
No, but it's gearing up for an interesting title fight as well because you've got Abood coming back and even Chris. Chris looked very quick today as well. So there's lots of people flying around that are going to be up there, which is cool.
Awesome. So we're going to wrap the stream now. So thank you to everybody that has watched us, whether if it was live or post race. So we hope that you enjoyed our company tonight. Obviously, thank you to all the drivers. Special shout out to Mark, also known as Old School, for filling in on short notice as well. And I know I can count on you for future and for Evil's sake, get better soon. It's a shame, obviously, you have COVID, but hope you recover well, and I hope you enjoy the race as well. Hopefully, we'll see you in the box next week. But for myself and Mark, and thank you also to Chill for joining us in the interview room as well. We will see you next week for round number 6 of the championship, the Singapore Grand Prix, which is going to be lasting eternity, but we'll see how that goes. I've been Jess, Mark's been Mark. We will see you next time. Ta-ra!